Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Oh, I also have a little bit of news.
Please talk.
My wife and I are having a baby.
Oh my God! She had sex with you?
And we're back. Kinda. Sort of. Back in the friendly confines. Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. There are many things you can put in your ears. This is one of them. We're phlegm-free today. Phlegm-free, relatively. We are part of the Late Night Sports Radio Network, latenightsportsradio.com. She is Claire, taking swimming lessons at College Station, Mullins, at the Claire Bear 23, NFL Female Podcast, and also masterful folder of paper during the intro. I'm Andy Carlson at Andy Carlson Show, Purple for the Win, Football Convos, all the other good stuff. And we can be found at Claire-Vs-Carlson and YouTube and iTunes and Facebook and all the other crap. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm more fantastic because I found out that you used to go swimming down at the old swimming hole back at college.
Well, there was a swimming hole in College Station on the Brazos River, but actually took a swimming class in college. I took a scuba class, too, in college. So I know how to swim. Not like Robert Konrad, apparently, but I can swim.
We'll get to Rob Conrad. But, no, well, I understand hot days down at College Station, then you had the little Junction Boys, that's tied to Texas A&M, but going down to the swimming hole with paw and your fishing pole and your jeans are rolled up to the knee and then...
Oh.
Bro.
No, I'm pretty sure I was wearing a bikini and we were smoking things that you shouldn't smoke publicly, and we just hide down by the little place by the river sometimes, but we were not really country bumpkins.
Yeah, and then that bikini went by, Felicia.
Oh, please.
It happens. We have way too much stuff left on. This is the fourth to final Claire show.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I got your replacement lined up, and she's great.
Who is she?
Di Murphy, I believe.
Di?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. She could probably handle you better than I can.
We go way back like chiropractic.
Baywhack.
Baywatch.
We go Baywatch.
But we have a ton of stuff to get to. Ohio State wins for some reason. Cardale Jones decided to stay in school. He completely psyched out all of us. Divisional games and the NFL happened. What was the biggest surprise we had there? Coaching carousel go round and round and round. I don't even. My notes from yesterday aren't even up to date. We'll get to that. And then a bunch of other hodgepodge stuff in segment 2, and then we'll wrap up with our championship game picks. Who is going to the Super Bowl, Claire? I don't know. We'll find out then.
I know who I think is going to go.
Oh. All right, so Claire, how was your week, though? How did you spend your time? You've been saying that you've been working like a dog.
Like a dog. I've been in Denver all week, but I was in Kansas last week, and I got less than 24 hours at home between trips, and so I've been gone, and doing well, being really successful, but it doesn't lend itself to any free time, which kind of stinks.
Now, are you up in the air like George Clooney?
Yeah, well, I fly to and from somewhere pretty much once a week.
So you get to hang out with an Anna Kendrick type person?
No, we don't have that kind of hot fire on my planes.
Oh, by the way, George Clooney's wife, did you see her at the Golden Globes?
Yeah.
She is a very nice-looking lady.
Yeah, she is very attractive.
And plus, she's smart and classy, and it's... he's a dog compared to her.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Golden Globes at all? I thought Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were hilarious.
No, I didn't watch it at all.
Tina Fey had probably the best Bill Cosby joke ever.
Can you repeat it on the air?
Yeah, I mean, it was on network television, but it was, it still feels like it's too soon, and it's a very serious subject matter, but you know that they kind of had to go there. And so Tina Fey, during the monologue, was like, Bill Cosby's in the news, and he was all like, I put the pills in the people. The
Oh, my
people
God.
do not want the pills in them.
Oh, my gosh. Really?
I know it's a very unfunny subject, but the way that she delivered it was hilarious, and I sometimes I just find myself saying that to myself throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge Tina Fey fan, SNL, 30 Rock, and this is going to be this is my favorite thing she's ever done.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive because she's done some pretty impressive things.
Yeah. So that was my week. Oh, I also have a little bit of news.
Please talk.
My wife and I are having a baby.
Oh, my God. She had sex with you?
Oh, that's too soon.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, no, that is definitely the intro. Hold on. I got to mark that 5:16. All right.
Well, I thought it whenever you sent me that message. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be good.
Now, what is your middle name?
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm going to guess it's Marie because 75% of the females on planet Earth middle name is Marie.
Renee's are way more popular than Marie's.
Maybe in the South. I don't even know a Renee.
Oh, my God. Everybody is something Renee.
All right, so
their middle names are always Renee.
But we're having a little baby girl. I guess that's what we're alluding to, but the girl's names. We're going to name it Claire.
You're really naming it Claire?
Now, could you imagine that?
I would tell everybody. I had a baby named after me. That's what I would tell everybody.
That would be kind of funny. Yeah, but we're very excited, and it's our first, and it's going to be a beautiful, bouncy little baby girl. And it is kind of weird. My Google search, right? So I'm Asian. My wife is not Asian. She is white. So I was looking up Asian white little girls, and Google was like, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, that might be taken the wrong way if you ever were in a court of law or something.
You sure you want the Google search that? So that is my happy news. Yes, my wife did have sex.
Congratulations!
Knocked it out of the park.
Congratulations on having sex and impregnating your wife.
And little Tedette Bridgewater Carlson is coming up.
That's actually really awesome. I'm excited for y'all. Little girls are great.
Thank you, Claire. Well, you used to be a little girl, so they obviously can't be that great.
That makes them even better.
Boom. All right, so let's get to some actual sports. Enough of this mushy stuff. Big story of the week, Ohio State, Ohio State, beat Oregon in the first ever national title game with the playoffs, 48-20, overcoming 4 turnovers, and Cardale Jones was he was okay, 16-23, 242, 1-1. Marcus Mariota, 24-37, 333, 2-1. Never really looked comfortable at times versus that Ohio State defense, but the real star, I mean, let's be honest. True sophomore, Zeke Elliott, 36 carries for 246 and 4 friggin' touchdowns, even though that last one was a little bit of running up the score, but no, it's neither there.
Who cares? Like, Oregon wouldn't run up the score if they could. Come on, man.
Yeah, Oregon is a notorious runner-upper of the score.
So suck it up. Sorry, you're losing. You're going to, If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for you.
And we'll get to Cardale Jones here in a second, but I think the real catalyst in Ohio State's run, beating down Wisconsin in the Big Ten title game 59-0, beating Alabama, beating Oregon now to win it all, was Ezekiel Elliott, because he ran over for 200 yards in each of the last 3 games. So as much as hype as Cardale Jones has been getting, it's really been Zeke.
In terms of players, but I mean, really, even if he's an evil one, you kind of have to credit Urban Meyer as a mastermind. I mean, well, look at the quarterbacks that he was able to put in position to take that team to a national championship. 3 deep. You're going 3 deep into the national championship, and you're able to produce enough and not screw it up enough, because Cardale Jones had his moments, but they managed to do it, and it's amazing to me, because really, who thought 3-4 weeks ago Ohio State is going to go into the national championship on their 4th quarterback after making it through the playoffs? And didn't they have a bowl game too? Or no, it was the playoff game. It was a bowl game. Never mind. I'm confused.
Yeah, Sugar Bowl. It's so, you always want to root for the underdog, but when the underdog was Ohio State, you're like, Come on, really?
Well,
I know they got in as the 4th seed. I know that they basically had to blow the doors off of Wisconsin to even get a seat at the table. I still think TCU got a little screwed. But it's so hard because as a sports fan, your default is almost to always root for the underdog. But when the underdog is a friggin' 7-time previous national champion, it's kind of hard. Plus with their fan base.
Who has lots to say about it, their fan base. So they definitely don't let anybody forget, which is always kind of makes you want that guy to lose, no matter how underdoggy they can be.
Yeah, and I don't know. But the biggest thing coming out of that was Cardale Jones, and yesterday at about 3 o'clock, oh, nope, it was supposed to be 3, but no, they changed it to 4. He called a press conference at his former high school. Everyone and their mother thought that he was going to go pro, but he announced that he's coming back and citing his desire to further his education. And people were patting him on the back. Some people were giving him heat for calling this LeBron-style press conference. There's a meme going around that, LeBron went to the national title game and gave Cardale a big hug afterwards, and then the meme was of them hugging, hey, bro, you should call a press conference to make your decision. Because this was basically LeBron's decision back at the old high school. And this is the guy that everyone has been pointing out. This is the guy who tweeted out, "Oh, we didn't come here to play school. We can't play football." But from the press conference, I did see that he has matured a lot, and he was very well spoken, very eloquent in stating his reasons why he's coming back. I just don't think it was the correct decision for him. But then again, who am I to say it's his decision?
It is his decision, but I can't find a single person whose opinion I respect that agrees with it. And it was kind of, funny how he basically trolled the entire sports world who had interest in this. Mm-hmm. And by saying, I have a life-changing announcement at this time today. Well, life-changing implies that you're going to change your life. And so you're going to leave college and go. So he basically led everybody on a little bit, because I think most people implied, oh, you're going to go to the NFL. You're changing your life. So, and then to come out and say, oh, I'm staying around. So now, what did Urban Meyer say or do to this kid to make him want to stay? Because there are people probably calling him, telling him he can go, be drafted he could be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL draft this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Because if he did come out, I think by the time the draft came around, after the pro days, after the interviews, where this kid just in shorts just has a phenomenal workout, has a huge day. He's 6'5", 249, so basically 250 pounds. He has all the measurables, has the huge arm the NFL wants. I could see him easily going as the 3rd quarterback when that was all said and done. And I actually think Mariota is going to get Teddy Bridgewatered a little bit, with the slender frame, not coming from exactly a pro-style offense. I think he might fall in the draft. I wouldn't have been shocked if Cardale came out, if Cardale went before Mariota when it was all said and done. Which
it could happen.
Sounds a little nuts now. Well, it's all hypothetical now. But I am a little taken aback as well, because many people pointed out the iron will never be hotter for this kid. And if he comes back another year, he's not guaranteed to win the job. But then again, if he can't beat out J.T. Barrett and potentially Braxton Miller, how good of an NFL quarterback is he really going to be? And if he does start the full year, say Ohio State struggles a little bit, maybe his game gets picked apart, because the defensive coordinators in the Big Ten, they're not dummies. And now they're going to have tape on this guy and know that he's coming and will adjust their defenses to him.
Right.
Because I think that's one of the reasons why Saban struggled against Cardale in the Sugar Bowl, because he only had 1 game at tape on Cardale. And a lot of that was still Zeke in that 59-0 ass kicking in Wisconsin, which was beautiful, by the way.
Zeke is Bay, eating the confetti like a child.
We'll touch on Zeke here in a second. But
okay.
Cardale, you can tell he's intelligent. But what struck me was when he said in the press conference, he didn't know why people were making it such a big deal. People were making it such a big deal because you were making such a big deal, man. You're holding the press conference, and you're putting out cryptic tweets like, oh, life-changing news at 3. Just kidding, 4. And I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to cut back start, because J.T. Barrett was a bad man. like we talked about. He snuck into the Heisman conversation, and I think he is a better fit for what Urban Meyer has traditionally done on offense. And I don't know, Cardale might regret this decision, and everyone's applauding him, saying that he's putting his education first. But it doesn't mean he can't go back to school when he's done playing football. I mean, lots of people go back to school when they're 30.
Exactly. And you're going to have at least a pretty high round draft pick payday. I mean, it's not huge, but you handle it right. You can use that to go back to college if it doesn't work out. I
made this analogy yesterday. He's basically playing deal or no deal. And he turned down the deal, and now he's going to press his luck. We'll see. Because if it would have came out this year, say conservatively, like a 4th-round pick, that would have been a couple million, a couple $100,000 signing bonus in the bank, and you're ready to go. You're learning on the job. Now, who knows? I mean, it's definitely a possibility. You never wish this on any kid, but he could be Marcus Lattimore.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. And going back to play in college when you're NFL eligible and likely to be drafted, we talked about the opposite side last week, but man, it is taking a huge, huge risk on your future. It's a risk going into the NFL, but it's pretty risky staying in college too.
But Mark Dominic, who's the former Bucks GM, is on ESPN now, made a good point this morning. He said that if Cardale Jones goes back and doesn't win the starting job and just sits and then comes out next year, his floor is probably still about the 4th round because he still has this decent amount of tape in those 3 games, and he also still has all the measurables that then was looking for anyways.
Exactly. I mean, the only thing, is what if him and Urban Meyer made some sort of deal where he is going to be the starter or something to that effect? You don't know. I mean, we don't know. I mean, guys have been called the starter before the season starts before. So, just saying.
Urban Meyer was on Letterman, which airs tonight, but Mike and Mike played some of the audio, and Urban Meyer said that he didn't promise Cardale anything.
Oh, really?
I think that's probably a bunch of hooey. I think if I was in Urban shoes, I would have promised Cardale, you will have the first shot in spring practice, but other than that, I can't promise you anything.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think Braxton Miller is probably going to be the odd man out, especially since he has virtual free agency. I can see him going to, like, Wisconsin. I know that LSU and even Florida State, like their porn star, what's-her-face, have been trying to recruit him down there. Of course Florida State would have a porn star unofficial recruiter, yeah. Who knew? I even did my part. I sent Braxton the apply link for the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, so I don't know. I guess.
Oh, that's awful. You really did?
Yeah, twice.
Oh my God, you're awful.
But Ezekiel Elliott, here's an interesting case. So he was finally released in the final 3 games because he hadn't put up a ton of numbers with JT Barrett, with Braxton Miller, and he gets loose in the 3 biggest games of his career. As a true sophomore, cannot come out. There's a lot of scuttlebutt that's saying that he should sit a year and then come out in the draft next year.
Man, he's good. I mean, at a running back, I mean, they're all dangerous positions. But man, I would be nervous to put it all out there. I mean, that's just such a huge risk. I don't know. That's just me. It's such a personal decision. I mean, and obviously you have a coach and a team who you also have to work that out with. But, man, that is scary. I would die. That would be too hard for me to figure out.
You don't have to go any farther than the Marcus Lattimore.
Exactly.
He was basically the exact same spot. There was a lot of talk that Clowney should have taken this route. And I don't know. Like you said, a running back. I would be tempted.
Every play you get hit. Every play that you're involved in, you're either blocking or you're running.
Just work out like a beast the entire year. Work on your soft skills like pass blocking, receiving. Just get yourself completely ready for the draft and then just come out and beast. Because I said this after the game, the Oregon offense is neat and will probably eventually win a championship, but north-south power running, control the clock will always be in vogue and will always win games, and Ezekiel Elliott is one of those backs.
Yeah. I mean, he's just powerful, and he drags defenders, and he's fun to watch. I had a good time watching that guy the past few weeks.
So he sits out, and the Texans grab him in the second round, at the top of the second round, because Texans. And then the remnants of Bay, and then Ezekiel Elliott, two-headed monster. Come on.
I would take that in a heartbeat.
See,
Are you kidding me?
There you go.
I mean, of course, I'd rather find a hidden gem running back late like the Texans usually do. But Zeke's pretty awesome.
Yep. Now, here's a question. Say Cardale Jones did come out, completely hypothetical, and the Texans took him in the third round. Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, sure.
Just
In the
throw him
third
on it.
round?
Yeah.
Do it. I have friends who would take him higher than that.
In low places.
That too. But we don't listen to Garth Brooks collectively. Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it.
All right, so the college football playoff is a massive success. The championship game was the highest rated program in the history of cable television with an 18.9 share, which equals to about 33 million viewers, and this on top of the two semifinal games being huge ratings as well. And this is not going to stay at 4 for long, is it?
No, I don't think so. They see how profitable it is, and I'm sure they thought about that before. But if they can have more games with more advertisers and more income, well, the NCAA is going to take the money every freaking time.
Yeah, and there is like a contract in place that says for the next 10 years, that's before, except contracts aren't worth the paper that they're printed on half the time. And I do feel the games were awesome, don't get me wrong, but I do feel it took away emphasis from the Fiesta Bowl and the Orange Bowl, the two bowls that used to be the BCS bowls are now left out. And I guess that's kind of collateral damage. I think the ideal setup would be 8 teams. Have the top 4 seeds host a home game the weekend after the conference championship games, and then have the Final Four play out as it was this year.
I'm down with that.
I mean, how awesome it would be if you're one of the top 4 seeds and you get an extra home game in the end of November when it's going to be snowing a little bit. Oh, babe, no, beginning of December, excuse me. And that would be awesome.
That would be an interesting setup. I mean, this one turned out so well, and there were so many questions going into it that I think I'm definitely down if they decide to switch it up even again already.
All right. Speaking of down, we're pressing our luck, so we got to get out of here for our first break. We're coming back with a little NFL talk, a little something, as Claire's basketball team GM compares basketball to a little something different. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. And we'll get to our Super Bowl picks. Who's going? Who's staying? Who's watching from home? I don't know. We'll be right back. Claire-Vs-Carlson Show.
Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site.
1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments, Claire. Play whenever you want, which I know you love to do.
Got an injured player? Not a problem. At DraftKings.com, it's like a new season every week. So you're never stuck with the same players, luckily for you, Carlson.
Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash.
And this season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000.
Another turned $2 into $10,000. $2 into $10,000.
And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com.
You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Get free entry into their $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend, where first place takes home $10,000. Head to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code SPREAKER, SPREAKER, to play for free. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com.
Straight cash, homie.
And we're coming back. We had an awesome little phlegm attack, and Claire was doing her, talking about Daryl Morey a little bit.
So funny.
I thought it was pretty funny. I guess I could see how it could be offensive, but...
Okay, if you don't like the idea of men being sexually attracted to women, that's how it's offensive to me, honestly. He said nothing, no words that were actually vulgar in any way. He said, read it. I'll read it.
All right. We'll get to that. First, let's get to the NFL stuff, but that'll be a little tease.
Okay.
That'll be a little tease. And plus now I have time to think of a labia joke. So the divisional games, the biggest surprise of the weekend, like I said last week, this is my favorite weekend of football because you got the top 4 seeds, 4 teams that won a playoff game, and then also you get the national championship game right after. Hello. Patriots beat the Ravens 35-31, coming back from 14 twice. Seahawks handled the Panthers 31-17. Wasn't really a shocker there. Panthers could not get anything going. Packers cheat the Cowboys 26-11. That was still a catch, Claire.
After the Cowboys cheated the Lions.
And the Colts thump the Broncos 24-13 in the whole cliche hashtag changing of the guard game. Claire, what stuck out to you?
You know, I don't know if I like how John Elway is running the Broncos, but he had a really good point about how this team has lost its fight at the very end of their seasons under John Fox. And the Broncos just I figured they had the talent to make up for and obviously something wrong with him, Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. They didn't. And it didn't look like they gave it that much effort, to be honest. So that one really surprised me.
Yeah, no, and John Fox is kind of he's I'm trying to find the word to describe him. He's a good coach. He's not great. Like,
right.
You have to respect what he did in Carolina. He took the Panthers to a Super Bowl with Jake freaking Delhomme. And he took the Broncos to a Super Bowl last year, even though a lot of that could be attributed to Peyton. And he has a solid record as a head coach, but I wouldn't want him coaching my team.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to have a little bit of when the pressure gets, heavy, he kind of goes fishing, it feels like, He doesn't seem to really deal with the problems at hand. Like, they're in a huge high-pressure situation the past couple of years, and honestly, he just craps the bed.
Yeah, well, the last 4 years in Denver, he has won 4 division titles. The first year was the whole Tebow mess, and they did win a playoff game, beat the Steelers at home, and then losing to the Patriots in the divisional round. And then the year after that, they lost at home. First year, Peyton Manning, the whole Hail Flacco, Raheem Moore game. Last year, of course, was the woodshedding, the absolute ass-kicking in the Super Bowl. And then this year was the loss to the Colts. And 24-13, it didn't even seem that close, to be honest.
No, it didn't. It felt like the Broncos were playing defeated the whole time.
Yeah, but John Fox is out in Denver. Looks like reports saying that he's going to be inked today in Chicago. And as a Vikings fan, as an inhabitant of the NFC North, I'm perfectly fine with them going to John Fox.
Yeah, because they don't have strong enough people. I mean, they're basically going to implode, I think, under John Fox. They're already such children running around that organization that I don't feel that John Fox is the type of figurehead you need to take charge and say, this is everybody's job, do it, damn it, and we're going to win football games.
Yeah, and now, do you believe that it was the mutual parting that John Elway was talking about when John Fox decided to leave Denver?
I think that there's probably a lot going on in that relationship that we don't know. It may have been mutual to where they just didn't get along. I don't feel like John Elway he comes out of his press conference and he calls John Fox John Elway, and maybe he's just nervous, but to basically fudge the first line when you're introducing the guy you just let go of doesn't seem like you care that much about the guy you just let go of.
Yeah, it's funny. Doesn't John Elway kind of look and sound like Gary Busey nowadays?
Totally does. Good call.
Yeah. And the reports say that there was friction between him and Fox. I think there might have been a little something between him and Del Rio as well. As, Del Rio gets a job in Oakland, and I don't know. I don't know about Elway as an executive. I know he survived the Tebow mania, and he did have a bloodless coup when he replaced Tebow with Peyton Manning. But they loaded up on all this defensive talent, and
Yeah.
Aqib Talib had a terrible game. Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware couldn't even put a finger on Andrew Luck in that game, and there they are again. And if Peyton doesn't come back, I know that they said that Peyton had that torn quadriceps or strained quadricep, whatever it was. If he doesn't come back, they might have to blow this whole thing up.
They may. I mean, it was when you first heard the news that they were letting go of Fox, and then there was a back and forth about, they also, let go of the whole staff. No, they told the staff to just, keep their options open, essentially. You're like, so what are they doing? But the more you look at it, the more, they went for the immediate gratification of, okay, we're going to put it all on the line and go for that Super Bowl right now, and it didn't happen. And I think that they probably were of the mindset, hey, if we have a Peyton Manning and he's healthy and we can get to the Super Bowl, then awesome. And if we can't, we're blowing it up and we're just going to do what we got to do to restart this engine from scratch.
Yeah, and Peyton is going to take a little time. I think they said he's going to go hunting with Eli or something like that. And no, Tony Dungy said that, sorry. And he just needs to let the Broncos know by free agency if he's coming back or not. He can't pull a Brett Favre here. Even though he has earned that, the Broncos deserve to know if they're loading up for one last push or if they're going to completely blow it up.
Yeah. It's a hard call to make, but I'm of the mindset when you run a multi-million-dollar organization, you plan for the future, and you know that if something doesn't happen by XYZ time, we have to go to contingency plan. And I feel that's probably what the Broncos are doing, and that they have an idea as to what they wanted before this happened. I think that John Elway saying the other day, we're going to begin thinking about candidates to replace John Fox is a big load of horse hooey. Because, come on, really? How can you have such a almost successful really, most organizations would kill for 4 years as a division champion. So it can't be that successful and not have planned and be smart enough to get ahead of the ball. They've obviously been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, and NFL head coaching hires. Let's get a quick thumbs up or thumbs down from Claire and her rumbling stomach. When's the last time you eaten?
Yesterday.
What?
Time. I don't have time.
You're not a bagel person?
No, that's too carby.
Too carby. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down from Claire and a rumbling stomach. The John Foss hiring is all but done in Chicago. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Sorry, John Fox. The first one in the cycle, Rex Ryan, hired by the Bills. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
No, thumbs up.
I like that Rex has got his swagger back. I like
Me
that the shackles
too.
are off of Rex, and he knows that this is. He said in a couple of interviews that this is going to be his last job, win, lose, or draw, and I can't wait. Rex is going to do him. He's not going to be forced to throw the ball with Geno Smith like he did with Izek, and he's just going to ground and pound this thing. Mark Sanchez is going to Buffalo, baby, and they're going to rock it.
It's going to be great. I mean, win, lose, or draw, it's going to be entertainment.
Yeah.
He's making the Bills relevant again.
And I like that. They do have good defensive personnel. I think they'll really love playing for Rex. They got Kiko Alonso back, which is amazing that they were that good last year without him. And on offense, they'll probably be anemic. I don't know if they'll re-sign C.J. Spiller. Fred Jackson is another year older and wiser and older. And then they just have E.J. Manuel. I mean, what are they going to do? Bring in Sanchez? Maybe. What about Brian Hoyer, Christian Ponder, Jake Locker? Could be. And they don't have a first-round draft pick, so what are they going to do? Put up 6 points a game and win about 7 to 8 games.
There you go. Well, for a first year, I don't think that would be an awful outcome.
Yeah. I'm rooting for Rex, though. And plus, it'll be great drama. Him and Belichick get to play each other twice a year, and then him and the Jets. Now, I think a lot of Jets fans, they feel bad for Rex because I get the feeling that most Jet fans really love Rex except felt like a change was needed, but they still love Rex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that although very different characters, he's perceived much the way Gary Kubiak is in Houston. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. You knew what you're going to get with them. He was kind of hamstrung by people above, and so Rex he just seems like a fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say good guy, but I kind of get the feeling he's a little skeezy behind, away from the camera, or maybe in front of the camera. I don't know. Rex is that kind of dude.
Well, him licking his wife's toes, that was on camera.
Yep, there you have it.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's interesting.
Dang, now I have to look that up during the break. So where were we? Yeah, that pizza, though, that they gave him.
Was that frosting?
It looked like fondant. It looked a little gross. I mean, why was it blue?
Really?
Why was it blue?
It was blue. It was buffalo blue.
It was Buffalo Blue. Speaking of the Jets, Todd Bowles finally gets his bite at the apple. The longtime defensive coordinator recently of the Arizona Cardinals gets his first full-time NFL coaching job. It's about damn time. I'm very happy for Todd Bowles, and I think people wonder why are the Jets going defense when Rex is just a defensive guy. Except Todd Bowles is a completely different personality than Rex. I think he'll bring a calmness, a little bit of a no-nonsense to that locker room, and I just really hope he doesn't get LOL Jets done. And the new Jets GM is a former Texans guy, correct?
I mean, he found the GM guy, the Jets GM guy. I mean, he found J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt was drafted. They weren't going to take J.J. Watt, though. The guys that they wanted ended up going earlier than they thought. So that was, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I'm saying it was kind of a fluke, let's be honest, that he landed in Houston.
You imagine if he took Nick Fairley instead?
I forget who all. There were 3 guys whose names were up there on the defensive side of the ball ahead of J.J. Watt for the Texans.
Well, now we got to look because that I remember the quarterbacks exactly where they were taken because that's seared in my memory banks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was Blaine Gabbert at 8, Jake Locker at 10, Christian Ponder at 12, and J.J. Watt at 11. Nick Fairley was 13. I want to say Von Miller was 2 that year after Cam Newton went number 1.
Mm-hmm.
To the Google. Yep. Von Miller, number 2. Marcel Darius, number 3 to Buffalo. Patrick Peterson, I guess it would have been nice to have him.
Yep.
Alden Smith went 7 to San Francisco.
And Alden Smith, yep.
Excuse me, Locker and Gabbert were flipped. So
okay.
I guess that's not seared in my memory.
I think that people are not going to judge you for that. So.
Yeah. Ooh, Robert Quinn went 14. Baby.
Who would you rather have, J.J. Watt or Robert Quinn?
I don't know. Depends what type of defensive scheme I'm running. If I'm running a 4-3, I'd probably still take Watt. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I think I would take J.J. Watt no matter what, as he can play inside. He can edge rush. He did that a little bit more this year, and he's just all around.
He plays all over the line. I mean, you can put him wherever. I mean, he could probably play nose tackle if you need him to. Whatever.
All right, so that was the Todd Bowles talking point, and we ended up talking about J.J. Watt, of course.
Yeah, sorry.
Jack Del Rio hired by the Raiders. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Man, Jack Del Rio. No, down. Thumbs down.
But he's Bay from the NFC South. Coaching the Jaguars for 8 years, only had 3 winning seasons. Whatever.
You don't care. It's okay. No worries. I know. I watched him coach the Jaguars. That team was lackluster and uninspired, and now he's going to the Raiders, a team who needs inspiration and a little bit of luster. I don't think so. I think
they're going to be looking for a new head coach in 2 years, but I do think that they want to have a head coach who's relatively safe. I think there really is that until they get the new stadium done and then go all in on like a Gus Malzahn or someone.
Could be.
But why would Gus ever go there? Because he'll have his pick of NFL jobs. Why would he go to the Raiders?
I don't know. I mean, the Raiders. Good luck to them, man. Godspeed.
49ers elevate Jim Tomsula, their defensive line coach for the past couple of years under Harbaugh. Did have some head coaching experience in NFL Europe, but overall was it kind of
Yeah. And then there was that interview that came out. I don't know if you saw it. It was on CSN Bay Area, where they were asking him about his potential coordinators and whatever. And it was just the most awkward thing I've ever, maybe not ever witnessed, but man, if that's your head coach and he's going to be conducting press conferences for the next year or two, I don't know how long I'll give him. That's a little bit disconcerting to me.
Well, it sounds like all the players love him, and I'd rather have that than trying to win press conferences. And he's not exactly a neophyte because the Vikings actually interviewed Tomsula last year before they ended up hiring Zimmer. So he's been around a little bit, and I know when the 49ers were talking about trading Harbaugh to Cleveland that they would have elevated Tomsula if that trade went through. So,
but how about this?
Yeah.
You know that Harbaugh is leaving months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Tomsula is sitting under your nose. 3 weeks after Harbaugh leaves, we did this exhaustive search, and the guy you were exhaustively searching for was sitting right under your nose this whole time? Really?
So, yeah, I think they did that just so they didn't automatically turn it over to Tomsula, so that if he didn't work out, the fans could gripe about that. But, they checked off all the boxes. They complied with the Rooney Rule, and then eventually they can sell to the fan base. We looked everywhere, under every single rock, for our next head coach, and he's right here. The best candidate is Jim Tomsula.
Yeah, well, congratulations, 49ers.
Who looks like Stan Van Gundy.
He looks like a man who can eat a meatball sub.
I wish I had $1 every time Jim Tomsula ordered the meatball parm.
$1 for every time.
Yeah. The Broncos' head coaching job is open. They appear to be interviewing Doug Marrone. They've also talked to coordinator Adam Gase. Terrell Austin, the Lions defense coordinator, who seems in demand, but the musical chairs is starting to wrap up, recently withdrew his name from consideration. I have no idea who the Broncos are going to end up hiring.
Wait, you just missed their main candidate, Gary Kubiak.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the backup quarterback for John Elway.
I was going to let you get to it.
Jason Canfora actually came out recently, like this afternoon, and said something to the effect of that Gary Kubiak is Elway's main guy. And if he doesn't take it, then, backup plans are in effect. But they want Gary.
I was going to let you toss it off because Gary Kubiak
You're so
is
sweet.
your guy. I know.
You're so sweet. I do really love him. And he is a good guy. And the only thing that's really concerning is what is Peyton Manning supposed to do under, the sort of scheme that Gary Kubiak runs?
Well, if Gary Kubiak goes to Denver, Peyton Manning retires, Matt Schaub, come on down.
Oh, God. That would be funny.
Shabba.
He believes in his Schaub.
Actually, is he still under contract in Oakland?
Probably, no.
Oh, they're going to cut his ass, right?
He just had I think he's on the final year of his contract from Houston that they basically took on.
$10 million.
Yeah,
Probably.
It was pretty ridiculous.
And the Falcons appear to be waiting for Dan Quinn. It looks like, because maybe Teryl Austin. I don't know. It just seems I haven't heard a lot from the Falcons head coaching search. I know Arthur Blank's late mother passed away. Late mother, yes. His mother passed away. I know that impact the Rex Ryan potentially going to Atlanta process. And
is that what it was?
Yeah. They interviewed Rex, and unfortunately, Mr. Blank's mother passed away, and then Arthur wasn't going to be involved in the search until then. Rex was kind of worried if he didn't take the Bills job, burn the hand to the bush, whatever the saying is, and apparently didn't want to wait it out. And I think Dan Quinn, if I was betting, I would say Dan Quinn finally gets the Falcons job.
It could happen.
They're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but from what I saw earlier, they're really talking with Teryl Austin, and Teryl Austin apparently has a history of some sort with Adam Gase, and Gase is supposed to come with Teryl Austin if he gets the job as Falcons head coach.
Yep. And the Falcons are in a good position because they interviewed Dan Quinn during Wild Card Weekend. And the rule says if you do that during that window, then you can interview them during the week before the Super Bowl if that team goes that far. So the Broncos want to interview Dan Quinn as well, except during Wildcard Weekend they obviously had an intact staff, did not interview Dan Quinn, so they're kind of behind the 8 ball in that respect.
Yeah.
But they're all in on Kubiak, so.
Well, I can see Adam Gase being very interested in the personnel that's available on the Falcons' offensive roster.
Everyone talking about Adam Gase. When did he become the cat's meow?
He just seems in high demand. I don't know that he's necessarily the cat's meow. I think that Peyton Manning ran a significant part of that offense.
Yeah, and plus Peyton Manning got Mike McCoy that job in San Diego,
yep.
too. And he's been doing pretty well out in San Diego. Saved Phillip Rivers' career from Norv.
Mm.
Or Norv.
Yeah, Norv.
All right, last bit of NFL before we take another break. Dick LeBeau resigns, in air quotes, with the Steelers. Is he done? He's 77 years old. It feels like he's not done, though.
Well, I saw that the Cardinals want him for
Titans
a senior position.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the Titans. But yeah, so it's going to be up to Dick LeBeau. I mean, how old is he? He's 77 years old.
Dick LeBeau strikes me.
Retire.
Dick LeBeau strikes me as the type of guy who doesn't have any hobbies, doesn't golf, doesn't fish. He just does football. And there are very few names you can throw out there and say that actually changed the game. Him and that zone blitzing defense did change the game, as pretty much every defensive coordinator now has some sort of zone blitz concept in their defensive repertoire. And like you said, Arizona wants him as a consultant job, as it were. Tennessee, former Steelers offensive coordinator Ken Wisenhunt in the mix as well. He obviously worked with LeBeau. I hope he lands in Arizona because, remember, the Steelers retired Bruce Arians, and then he became the OC in Indy, won Coach of the Year when he took over for a sick Chuck Pagano, and then move on to Arizona is doing good things out there. So LeBeau teaming up with Arians in the desert would be the ultimate FU Steelers. How's this for retirement, Jeb?
It would be. I mean, it's not like I couldn't see him taking the job. But at the same time, man, if it's me, I'm looking forward to, like, vacationing for 6 months in Fiji or something.
Yeah, but maybe LeBeau is like the type of guy, you know, the people who have a job and then they retire and then 6 months later they die. Like, working is their life. And Dick LeBeau might be that kind of guy.
He very well may be.
Whatever he decides, I hope he is happy. That's all
Indeed.
I want. I just want Dick LeBeau to be happy. I'll be happy by taking a break right here. Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. I love you, Dick LeBeau.
Hello?
For daily conversations with the players, coaches and contributors that make this game great.
Regulators, mount up! We're coming!
Football Convos. Visit footballconvos.com or visit us at iTunes.
And we are back for segment three. Three? Yeah, probably three. Of the Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. And we're talking, finally, of your boy, Rockets GM, Daryl Morey. So, he was on a plane on Wednesday and did a little Twitter Q&A, as I always like when players, executives do that. And he had a kind of a innocuous question come up, and he had an awesome answer. So the question came from some dude. Does having a job in basketball make you sick of watching it? And Daryl Morey came back with a, I'll let you say it. Do you want to say it? Go ahead.
He said, no, it is like being a gynecologist. You don't get sick of it.
Now, I thought this was absolutely hilarious. It's kind of a dirty joke, but then again, it's not really.
No. It doesn't say words. It doesn't say, talk about the actual act of.
It's just implied, and it's more of an homage, an appreciation for the subject matter.
Right.
It's not anything dirty, like, well, we could list off several things here, but
right.
I think it was more clever than offensive.
I did too. I mean, he says you don't get sick of it. Obviously, he's talking about female anatomy, but he doesn't say anything perverse or vulgar. It's just the wording. And apparently he had to issue an apology for it. So I thought that was it. Really, why do people have to be such killjoys? It's not going to affect your children. Your children don't know what it is.
Is it Houston in the Bible Belt? Like the tail end of it?
Not really. Nah, not really. I mean, the Bible Belt's more north, more Dallas-y, East Texas-y. But, yeah, no. I mean, it has its share of easily offended people, though.
I still thought it was funny. Now, was his apology standard boilerplate? I apologize if anyone was offended.
He said, I had a tweet that was in bad taste. I'm going to leave the comedy to the professionals. I think I'm going to stick with my GM job.
Okay, that was an awesome apology, though. It was kind of backhanded and also still a little funny. I like that apology.
It was a good one. I mean, yeah, it was still humorous, even though I'm going to leave the comedy for everybody else.
I still think it was a great line. Speaking of great lines, Kyle Long and Martellus Bennett had a couple of them. So it basically, to sum it up, it was a Twitter beef, and we're going to call it Unfollow Gate because we put gate after everything, apparently. So Martellus Bennett apparently, allegedly, unfollowed Kyle Long, the second-year offensive lineman, on Twitter, and then, bringing up the quotes, Kyle put out, quote, I'm afraid I have to reciprocate the act. You have been unfollowed at Martysaurus Rex, which is Martellus's Twitter handle. And this sets off Martellus Bennett a little diatribal rant. Why are you so worried? Why are you worried about who's following you on Twitter? More important is happening in my world than Kyle Long's tweets. I don't need this form of social currency. Maybe you do. If a follow from me is going to make you feel wealthier socially, then you need to get out more. I prefer our day-to-day interactions in person, but that's just me. You have my number. Stop the bull.
Yay. Because I think it was very well worded.
Yeah, and it actually made Kyle Long look like a dunce. And I don't know if it was done tongue-in-cheek by Kyle, but I don't think Martellus is joking around.
No, I don't think he was joking. I don't get the feeling he was joking. I think that he got called out, and so in turn he reciprocated and called out Kyle Long, and he kind of deserved it. That's all.
I mean, it's like high school, middle school stuff. You know what I mean?
It really is. But one guy's obviously, he thought his response through quite well, in my opinion. It's a very well reasoned response. I don't know. I just find it interesting. It does get personal in social media because you feel like all your friends should be following, or the people you have contact with should be following you. And I don't know. We take it very seriously, and I don't know if that's really healthy.
They're my friends.
Yeah, or maybe they just know you. Maybe they're forced to work with you.
They're all my friends. They're all my friends. But I could see Martellus's point of, you can be friends with someone in real life, but you don't have to necessarily follow them on Twitter. Or you could follow and then mute. I've done that. I've done that.
Well, there are some people who are very gifted in interpersonal reactions in real life, and that doesn't translate so well over the computer, and you're just like, shut up. This isn't you.
Or turn off retweets because you keep retweeting cat pictures.
Ugh, stop.
Sorry. Now, have you had any particular beefs that are similar like this? The Kyle Long, Martellus Bennett?
Not really.
No, you've never been in Kyle Long's shoes where you're scrolling through your followers or people you follow, they're like, oh, this person unfollowed me.
There are a couple of times where that's happened, but never, where I was going to pursue it.
Matt Schaub, unfollowed. Click.
Block.
Reported for spam.
Yeah, I mean, I'll block and mute and do whatever it takes to get someone I don't like off my timeline, so I can't really be offended if someone does the same to me.
True that. Someone also doing the same as Rob Konrad, who apparently survived 16-hour swim at sea after falling off of his boat, which was on autopilot. And he survived through jellyfish and shark-infested waters, made to the coast. What's the longest you've ever swam, Claire?
14 laps each direction. In swimming class.
Mhm.
So I hope that you're okay and you're not going to die over
Oh,
there.
that was a good one. Power of
It was.
editing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, not 16 hours.
Mhm. Oh, what about floating? You feel like a floater to me.
Oh, yeah, I do. Oh, that kind of. Okay, never mind.
Claire's a floater.
I don't know. I can do that for days, but that's okay. Yeah.
Face down.
No,
Pool of your own.
I'm no Rob Conrad.
All right, no Rob Conrad. Kurt Busch. Do you follow NASCAR at all? I feel like in your South, so. No?
I mean, I can follow the stories, but driving a car, I don't care how long, I don't care whatever. It's just not interesting to me at all.
Now, you seem
Unless
like,
I'm doing it.
have you seen Talladega Nights, though? Ballad, Rick and Bobby?
Yeah,
All right,
of
so
course.
you strike me as the Molly Shannon character. You're the wife of the team owner who just sits up in the restaurant and was like, oh, the vibrations.
Enjoys the vibrations. Yes. That would be fun.
So anyways, NASCAR, Kurt Busch, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. Kurt Busch claims that she is a trained assassin. According to testimony stemming from his domestic assault allegations by ex-girlfriend Patricia Driscoll, Busch claims that Driscoll was a trained assassin and even the inspiration for Jessica Chastain's character in Zero Dark Thirty, the film about the CIA and Special Forces hunt for Osama bin Laden. And the USA Today quote is, I need to bring it up.
Here it is. Well,
all right, how about you read it?
Oh, wait, this is kind of long. Never mind.
Hit it.
The one that I have is kind of long. Okay, Driscoll's alleged background as a trained assassin, is that what you want to know about?
Yes.
Okay, who had experience killing drug lords via long-range sniper rifles and close combat tactics. They include use of knives and poison, became a major talking point during the latter stages of this hearing. He believes she's a trained assassin, despite some of his doubts and questioning by friends. Everyone on the outside can tell me I'm crazy, but I lived it on the inside, Busch testified. Sorry, I'm the last one to the party.
And Driscoll and her attorneys have since come out and denied it, but my favorite thing is that this is an actual trial. This is an actual testimony, and they did not deny that at that time.
I knew she could take me down any moment, Busch explained, because she's a badass.
Is she really, though?
I don't know. I mean, there's a picture of her with like this huge automatic weapon.
Yeah, I've seen
she's like
video
grinning
clips.
like it's happy.
Video clips of her in the news, and she's shooting things like Ryan Tannehill's wife.
Oh, does she shoot things?
Yeah, did you remember that story where she left an AR-15 in the backseat of a rental car?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
You think that's something that you would be cognizant of where you placed it?
One would think.
What are you hungry for? What's Claire going to go get after this?
I really want Mexican. When I leave Texas, when I come back, I always crave Tex Mex, Mexican food, whatever, the most.
Now, for those not in the know, what is Tex Mex?
Tex Mex is a mixture of food from Mexico and food that, like cattle drivers and people who would go long ways across the country in the Texas, whatever, what they would cook when they were on the road.
Or the
buffalo
roam.
The plains or the whatever they were on before there were roads. Yeah. So like fajitas. Fajitas aren't Mexican. Fajitas are Texan. That's what those guys used to cook and how they used to cook it. But a lot of the guys with them were Mexican, so the food combined as Tex-Mex.
Oh, so you're saying that fajitas aren't Mexican, but we have the Texians and, frankly, your people to thank for fajitas.
They aren't solely Mexican. They didn't come from Mexico. They came from Texas.
Yeah. Didn't nachos come from Texas, too?
They did, from Eagle Pass, Texas.
Yeah, because what's the story? Didn't the guy in the kitchen was named Nacho, right?
Yes.
And these gringo white ladies were like, bring us a snack, Nacho, and they made nachos.
Right. It was like late. They were about to close. They didn't have anything but chips and cheese or something, so he created nachos.
It's fine. I think that's how chicken wings came about as well. Because I think the owner of the Anchor Bar, like, she had a bunch of teenagers, and they all wanted a snack. So she just fried up a bunch of these leftover chicken appendages, which were usually thrown away or reserved for stock back in the day. Fried them up and put them in hot sauce, and hey, chicken wing. Hey.
Hey.
And now they cost $8 a pound. Thank you, Anchor Bar.
Right, but now they have like amazing flavors and stuff. So thank you, Anchor Bar.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so that was Kurt Busch. Thank you.
That was.
Thank you, Kurt Busch. Thanks, Obama.
Hard to keep up.
A couple more in the fun segment. Hannah Storm. Did you see her before the Packer game? The complete stiff arm of the makeup artist coming back from break. And whose fault was this? Where's the director? Where's the producer counting down the whole time thing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, then apparently Hannah Storm says she would have gotten in major trouble had she been seen on air, the makeup artist. So does no one know that they're about to go live? This is kind of a big deal. I mean, I know it's your job and you get bored of your job on a daily basis. It's kind of a big deal.
Or do you think this is a rogue makeup artist who just wanted some camera time?
Your blush looks like crap.
No, it was like, I don't know my makeup, but what's the pencil thing called?
A pencil?
Eyeliner?
Oh, yeah, that eyeliner, lip liner.
She's run there like trying to stay up Hannah Storm in the eyes like, I'm getting on TV. And then, maybe that's why Hannah Storm looked so pissed when she pushed her away.
Maybe so. Or maybe Hannah Storm just kind of freaked out for a second, like, oh my God, you got to go. Boom.
No, it wasn't even like the, oh my goodness. It was like the pits of Hades in Hannah Storm's beautiful brown eyes. No, but it looked like sheer hatred with like the Heisman push.
I think you're being a little bit over dramatic with the hatred.
Oh, she looked pissed.
She looked angry, but hatred, I think, is a bit much. But whatever. Each their own.
I think she should have made it fun and lighthearted.
Well, it was like one of those instantaneous things. I get deer in the headlights all the time. I totally feel what Hannah Storm, how she reacted could happen.
Speaking of reacted, after Duke's loss at home versus the U, it's all about the U, a chick was caught screen capped crying after the game, filmed by the ESPN cameras and then screen capped by the website. What's the website here? I have so many links in these notes that sometimes it gums things up.
It gets to be a bit complicated, but thank you for doing that for me because I'm slow.
Hey, it helps me too because, I don't know, it just helps me. So clicking, the website was The Cauldron, which is a sports website, I guess. So they grabbed the screen cap, tweeted out, the struggle is real, and then the word was that the rep from the girl contacted the site trying to get the photo removed. Turns out it was just a friend of the girl DM'd or texted the author of the post trying to get the photo removed. That's not really how the internet works.
Nah, that just makes it more popular. You can't ask for them to take it back.
Yeah, and apparently the friend wasn't acting on her behalf. He was just acting as a concerned friend who, by the way, this dude is totally in the friend zone. He ain't all up in that.
He ain't never getting none of that.
Well, definitely not now because it just made it worse. If the friend never said anything, it should just be like a one little 30-second on the internet. But now it kind of turned into kind of a thing because it's like if you have a bad nickname, if people know that you hate the nickname, they're just going to call you more.
Right. If your nickname is Stinky, and that you're, oh God, stop that. No, people are you're Stinky for life now.
And the picture it doesn't even look like she's crying. She just looked very sad that her team just lost by 19 at home against
She's a very pretty girl. She'll probably get a modeling contract out of this. I mean, get over yourself. Enjoy your moment.
Speaking of someone who did not enjoy the moment, with Seattle and Green Bay ready to strap it on yet again at Quest or CenturyLink or wherever the hell they call it nowadays.
The Clink.
It is the rematch of the Fail Mary game, which I've had to turn off ESPN because, do you guys know it's a rematch of the Fail Mary game? Even though they played earlier in the season at Seattle, but whatever. Right. But the news came out is that the referee from that game, one of the ones that called that erroneous touchdown, although I call it, as a Vikings fan, the very quality, accurate touchdown assessment. Lance Easley has been in the news recently saying that he's been battling PTSD and severe depression ever since that. He's been receiving death threats, general nastiness, friends and family as well, his wife, his child. and has had to leave his job at a bank. But since it's been in the news, been getting words of support because people are terrible overall.
Yep, they sure are.
I mean, it is just a game. And these replacement refs at the time were just doing the best they can in a really crappy situation because the NFL referee union and the NFL were at odds, having beef, and these guys were just scabs trying to help out.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about, guys who, are in that situation, like, I'm not bringing it back to Houston too much, and I'm sorry, but like Bat Schaub, whenever he started sucking really bad, people would go to his house and burn his jersey and just those horrible things. And you hope that these guys have a strong mental fortitude, but it's got to affect you on some level unless you're able to isolate yourself from it completely. And it doesn't sound like you are if you're out in public ever in life. People are just jerks. And unfortunately, if you make a mistake publicly and it has an effect on something a lot of people care about, they're going to be really jerky to you, unfortunately. Poor guy.
I was thinking about this. I love the NFL, but I don't love all the fans necessarily all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand the passion. I respect the love and passion for your team and the game, but if you are in a foul mood like 3 days afterwards because your team lost a game, that's a little much.
Yeah.
In my book. Or if you're typing on message boards or sending out tweets or emails or Facebook messages of nastiness to the athletes, the referees, the coaches, the owners, people involved, that you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you're damaged. You need to check yourself there.
Right. I mean, can you imagine those people in normal life, like a spouse or children? How miserable must that be for their quote-unquote loved ones? I don't know. I just think about the whole picture. Society's just jacked up, man.
Because sometimes it's humorous, like the whole hashtag Thanks Obama.
Right.
Yeah, it's tongue-in-cheek, not meant to be serious. But if you're sending like actual death threats to a player, or if you're wishing an uncurable disease upon that athlete or his family members, you need to like just go away. Go out into the desert without any water and just take a nap.
Forever.
Go on walkabout.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so 3 segments in the books. We'll come back for one more short one. Claire and I will pick our Super Bowl matchup. It's not going to be what you think.
Oh.
It's not going to be what you think. Or it might be. Who knows? We'll be right back. Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. The Purple for the Win podcast is your one-stop shop for the team you hate that you love. That's right, dedicated to the pain and pleasure that is the Minnesota Vikings. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube for our weekly and bi-weekly mediocrity. And, of course, there's always purpleftw.com. Because, aside from nipple clamps and chains and whips, cheering for the Purple People Eaters is probably the most pleasurable pain you can experience on this planet. So come on in for the mediocre analysis and the more mediocre humor. PurpleFTW.com. That's right, PurpleFTW.com.
Straight cash, homie.
And we are back for the 4th and final segment of this week's Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. And speaking of 4, there's only 4 shows left, Claire. This is the 4th to last show of your face all up in here.
Oh, but no one sees my face. Lucky for them.
Or you'd be like Hannah Storm, the makeup artist, just coming in and you're like,
Yeah.
Get off the camera.
That would be me.
Get off the camera. Something that is going to be on camera. This Sunday, championship weekend, we have the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers and his calf. That was air quotes. Up in Seattle for the early game. Indianapolis at New England for the late game. I'm excited. I'm going to watch these.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not last weekend, but it'll be a good weekend.
And I know that everyone and their mother has Green Bay as huge underdogs, and I think they're going to lose by 40.
Why now? Explain yourself.
It's a little bit of the hatred for the Packers, but also remember what happened last time early in the season when Seattle's defense, and they are getting healthy at the right time, basically shut down half the field because Rodgers refused to throw at Sherman, and they basically just trotted out, what's his name, Jared Boykin out there. And then
do you really think they're going to make that same? They're going to do the same thing again?
I think they're going to try
take away half the field.
I think they're going to try and make Green Bay one-dimensional. And
they're going
with
to try.
Aaron Rodgers, the reports say that his calf is worse than last week, even though he looked pretty damn good in the second half after he got shot up with
10
a bunch
for
of
10 and 2 touchdowns.
That ankle or that calf was feeling no pain in the second half, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, if he can do that again, then they also have Eddie Lacy. Am I crazy in saying that? That they have a running game?
Yes, and James Starks. Yes. I'm aware of such things.
I mean, it's not like they've had to rely on them terribly much, but they can carry the load. I don't know. I just don't see it as such a runaway game.
Yeah, I'm in jest. I don't think Seattle's going to win by 40. I do think they win 27-17, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what's your final score?
I'll probably be maybe a little bit closer than that, but, low 20s, 24-20 or something. But I think that, the passing game is probably going to be affected, sure. I think that the Packers will still be able to score, and I don't know that they're going to be able to shut down the different looks that Seattle offers on offense. So I think it'll be close, but I don't think that it'll be a runaway.
Now, this is actually a noon start in Seattle. This is the earliest game that they've ever had in Seattle. That's pretty nuts.
That is pretty nuts.
Do you think that will have any effect at all?
Nah, I don't think so.
Do you think the whole time zone, time difference thing is overblown for these players?
Well, I think it's overblown if every game is on Sunday. But if you have a Thursday game and then you play an early game out of your time zone on, if you have a Monday game and you play, or a Sunday game and play Thursday or whatever. I'm just saying, if you get a reduction in time, then I think it makes a difference.
Yep. And Seattle, Russell Wilson, the anointed one, I think he does get to his second consecutive Super Bowl, won it last year. Oh my God, what was that?
Puking.
I'm leaving that in.
Leave it in.
Puking. Are you actually puking?
No.
Oh. It just sounded like a wet fart.
Oh, it was like, tried to mute my retching, but apparently it came out sounding like a wet fart. So, nice.
Speaking of wet farts, Russell Wilson will not put one up in this NFC title game. I think Marshawn Lynch is going to get the bulk of the work, and I think they're going to run roughshod, control the clock, and I think those is get it done again. And it's interesting coming up this offseason with Russell Wilson because he's going to get paid. And they end up winning a second consecutive Super Bowl.
Oh, God, yes.
There's no way that he's not going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL just because he's up next, It's his time. I mean, if he has the leadership qualities necessary to provide that component that a team needs to get them there, then, you got to pay the man. As great as he is, I still have some questions because I believe he's perfect. He's absolutely perfect for the situation in Seattle. Heavy running the game, he has to make a couple throws a game and has a great defense to lean on. But, eventually those pieces on defense are going to get older or too expensive and they'll move on. So there's no guarantee that's always going to be there. Lynch, this might be his last year in Seattle as well. So can Russell Wilson be the type of quarterback who has to throw it 35, 40 times a game, who has to lead a 2-minute drive, who has to win a shootout? I don't know if he can do that because he hasn't had to necessarily so far in his career. And if I'm going to give my quarterback $20, $25 million a year, I need to know that he is capable of that.
Well, yeah, but the leadership will believe that they're going to be capable of replacing the pieces on defense. And so as long as he's in Seattle, I think that they're going to see the value in him. At the same time, maybe additionally, I should say,
Seattle, if you look at Russell Wilson on the open market, some team would pay him a ridiculous amount of money, and Seattle is going to want to protect their guy.
No, they got the cap space ready to go, and the Wilson and Luck debate has become the new Brady and Manning debate. It's like the nouveau one.
Mm-hmm.
But I just imagine what would happen if Luck and Wilson switch places. I still think Indianapolis would be at the top of the AFC South because LOL AFC South. But I don't think they would have the sort of success that they've had leaning on Russell Wilson like they do Andrew Luck. And plus, I think Luck up in Seattle, he wouldn't have to be the Andrew Luck in Indianapolis. He would be more Stanford Andrew Luck, but he would be lights out. They would have had 3 straight Super Bowls by now.
They probably would, but if wishes and whatever, I forget the way the thing goes. I don't know.
He's no Bo Callahan. Oh, you didn't see that movie?
No.
Oh, you didn't see Draft Day?
Mm-mm.
It was okay.
Was it? How was Arian Foster in it?
Oh yeah, your bae was in it. He was fine. He's Terry Crews' son, which is kind of funny.
That is funny. How old is Terry Crews?
I don't know, but they basically made Arian Foster look like a 21-year-old kid. He's like, what, 27?
Something like that.
Yeah. Anywho, is there a second game on Sunday? Is there one?
No.
I don't know.
There's not. There's just the one, right?
The late game Colts, 11-5, going up to the Patriots, the 1 seed, and I'm calling for an upset in this one. This is going to be the Luck and Wilson Super Bowl, like we've alluded to. Yes, I know that the Colts have lost by 20 in each of the last 3 times that they played the Patriots. Yes, I know that the Colts got woodshed in the playoffs last year in New England, but I have no statistics or knowledge or basis to put this on. I think this is just Andrew freaking Luck's time. What say you, Claire?
Ew. If the Colts win a Super Bowl, I'd be so mad at the world. Just at the world. Or go to the Super Bowl even. Win. They would have to win for me to hate the world probably. But I really want Tom Brady to just rip Andrew Luck's heart out and eat it. That would be really cool. I feel like there could be some inopportune mistakes by the Colts. And maybe it's just wishful thinking. It's not real life. But I can see all the reasons why the Colts will lose, and I'm going to go with those reasons.
Yeah, and I know that the Colts' top 2 quarterbacks, Vontae Davis and Toller, are banged up. That could definitely hurt against – we saw what the Patriots could do last week. Danny Amendola looked good, and he didn't get hurt, which is nice.
Oh, real good.
Yeah.
He looked real good.
And Julian Edelman, throwing that touchdown pass. Now, I wish it was a drinking game where you had to take a shot every time someone on Twitter or the announcer on TV mentioned, do you know that Julian Edelman used to be a quarterback in college? Because you would be blackout drunk.
That would be fun.
Out in the desert with no water.
Oh,
taking that.
Never mind.
Yeah. But I just can't really explain it. Revis actually kind of got exposed last week, and I know he's probably going to be matched up with T.Y. Hilton. I think Hilton and Andrew Luck have a huge game. Boom Herron even got a little loose last week against Denver. I think if they can control the clock a smidgen in New England, I think Andrew Luck and his voodoo neckbeard magic will just get it done. Tom Brady, I love you, but this is not your year. This is the year of Andrew Luck. How beautiful would that be? He beats Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson / Aaron Rodgers, and it finally ascends into heaven as the Andrew Luck that we all know and love.
Oh.
Yes, I understand that you're the AFC South Texans' hatred of the Colts and everything Colts related, but Andrew Luck is bae. And
you don't understand.
His neckbeard and flip phone.
Gross. And how many years did my team have to put up with Peyton's stupid Manning and the Colts, and now they get Andrew Luck, and I just hate them. I hate them. I want them to go away. I want them to go to different
No, I understand that your hatred for Andrew Luck is akin to my hatred for Aaron Rodgers, but See, the thing with me and Roger is that there is hatred, but there's an absolute level of respect. You just seem like you hate Andrew Luck.
I can turn like a casual dislike into fierce hatred like nobody's business.
But
Andy,
he's from the Houston area, isn't he?
And that doesn't mean anything to me.
All right, what if
it doesn't mean anything.
What if he came back to the Texans?
Well, then I would welcome him with open arms.
Because the Colts have a history of letting contracts play out. So maybe, Luck plays out his 5-year contract. Hey,
come on.
They let Peyton Manning's contract expire twice.
When everybody practically thought that he was too injured to be Peyton Manning again. Mm. That's when they let it happen.
No, but even when he was in his prime, they let his contract play out and then negotiate in the offseason. What if that happens with Andrew Luck? They let it ride. And he's like, he pulls a LeBron. I'm coming home, home.
God, this is way too much. I mean, yeah, of course, I would love to have Andrew Luck on my team, but it's not going to happen.
Would he beat out Mallet?
You think?
Or Cardale Jones when they have... Oh, they'll have to fight over who's going to wear number 12 next year then. Or in 2 years.
Who had the bigger contract? That's probably the guy who's going to win out there. Or else, Luck would be so sweet and loving. You can have it. It's cool. I'll just switch. Is, one available?
I don't think Andrew Luck would be the type to wear number 1. He doesn't seem like a number 1 guy.
Mm.
As number 1 implies, it's all about me. I'm number 1.
Is that what it implies? I just thought it was like a good number. I think it's a good number. Warren Moon, of course, he's OG Bay.
He is OG Bay. So who you got in this Indianapolis New England game? We already got tangent off on how Andrew Luck is going to the Texans. Because it always comes back to Houston.
I know, and I didn't even do it that time. You did it. So I'm going to go with New England.
By a score of?
35-30.
Oh, my goodness. That's actually nuts because I have a final score of Colts 35, Patriots 32.
Oh, my God.
Andrew
Get
Luck.
out of my brain, Carlson.
Andrew Luck, with 1:29 to go, 0 timeouts, leads them 93 yards for the go-ahead score.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see on Sunday.
Yes, we will see on Sunday. So my Super Bowl matchup is Seattle versus Indianapolis in the desert. I actually like Indy's chances because Seattle and that defense will be on a neutral field, warm weather, or even indoors if the roof is shut. And I would like the Colts in that spot. Actually, I would like either AFC team against Seattle in that spot because I think that defense on a neutral field where it's not cold weather, it's not like the Super Bowl last year where they absolutely woodshedded the Broncos. I think they can get got, especially indoors. And then we'll see. Russell Wilson, can he win a shootout? I don't know if he can. I guess we'll see. But your Super Bowl matchup is Seattle and New England. I'd watch that.
I'd watch any of them. They'll all be good games. I mean, going into the season, I think that a lot of people probably predicted that these would be the final 4 teams, and this is what they get.
I'll take that. I mean,
there you go.
I'm especially going to watch because of the Katy Perry halftime show because I love her music.
Oh.
And Johnny Manziel's mom, Adina Manziel, is going to sing the national anthem.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not his mom. Okay, great. I'm glad she's going to see the
Everyone's daughter and nieces are going to watch the Super Bowl now just because of her.
Because of Frozen.
Yeah. Damn it.
Let it go.
Damn it. Oh, I forgot about that. Since I'm going to have a daughter now, I'm going to have to watch Frozen more.
There'll be something else in 2 or 3 years.
I'm really hoping so because I feel like Frozen's overstayed its welcome.
Did you not remember Twilight?
No, no one remembers Twilight. Ain't nobody got time for that. Because didn't it come out last year?
Frozen?
Yeah, last December.
Yeah, probably.
Or last November. And then this year, the New Year's Day celebration was a Frozen theme. I'm like, speaking of let it go, you should let go of Frozen. Move on to the next thing.
The kids love it.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, real quick with Claire, Oscar nominations came out. it was noted that all of the nominees for the 4 major categories, individual categories, are white.
Oh.
You think that's a big deal?
I mean, not really, because it's not like recent years haven't produced nominees and winners of other ethnicities or races or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. If there was a recent history of other people being excluded, then okay, sure. There's not.
It's the first year since 1998, the year Titanic won, is that all 4 of the individual categories are white. I'm surprised that the director of Selma didn't get nominated. She seemed like a shoo-in, and also the gentleman who played Martin Luther King in Selma. I'm really surprised he didn't get nominated, because it seems like major historical figures in historical movies usually get the Oscar bait. It seems like that's tailor-made for Oscar bait.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not as big a movie fanatic as you, but it sounds logical.
Yeah, and going through the Best Picture, which is Claire has not seen any of them. Not going to go through all the not going to go through all the categories. I just want to get through Best Picture. So American Sniper, which I'm seeing tonight, Birdman, which was unbelievable. I really think Michael Keaton deserves to win Best Actor, and what a comeback for him. Boyhood it's a very unique concept. This is the movie that was filmed over 12 years, following the family and especially the young man in the movie. I thought it was a good concept. Wasn't that well written? Wasn't that really well put together? But, oh well. Grand Budapest Hotel. I figured you would like Wes Anderson.
I do. I love Wes Anderson. I knew it.
I hate Wes Anderson.
I know a lot of people who do, and that's okay. I think his movies are visually just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. That's my main attraction. And I enjoy the obnoxious characters.
Because you're a colorful, obnoxious character as well.
There you go.
Yeah. Imitation Game, about the British breaking the Enigma code. I've not seen that. Selma, I've not seen that either. Theory of Everything, about Stephen Hawking and his wife. I've not seen that. I really want to. And Whiplash is also a movie.
Oh, never heard of it.
And that's all I got to say about that. From the movies I've seen so far, I've actually only seen Birdman and Boyhood, but I would pick Birdman out of the 2.
Out of the 2, going 50-50, this guy.
Yeah, but now, this is actually kind of fun because the Oscars aren't until February 22nd. So now I have time to catch up on all these other ones, because seeing American Sniper tonight, have only heard great things about that. Also, Bradley Cooper is Bay, by the way.
Is he?
He's my Bay.
I hope y'all enjoy each other.
I hope y'all, Wes Anderson and his pastiness enjoys your pastiness, is what I have to say. I'm gonna mail you a glitter bomb this week. You know that?
I'm going to return it to sender unopened.
Now, see, shipeyoureniemiesglitter.com, Australian-based company, $8. You can send your enemies like a giant box of glitter, because glitter apparently is kind of hard to clean up.
Yeah, you're going to find out with your daughter on the way.
Well, she's not going to be a stripper.
Little girls will find a way to incorporate glitter into every aspect of daily life. There will be glitter on everything.
You mean arts and crafts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to send you one. Although I think they should retitle it, having bomb in the name, sending it in the mail. Not really that great of an idea.
Good call.
Yeah. And some of these will probably be on airplanes, so that's even worse.
Really bad.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think we're out of things to talk about. What else is
Oh
going on with you, babe?
Wait, I'm looking at this list of Academy Awards, and I did see Gone Girl, and Rosamund Pike is nominated as Best Actress, which I didn't particularly like her in that movie. So anyway, that was just my little interjection.
I thought she was really creepy.
She was really creepy, but I think she was very melodramatic. And I get the character was somewhat melodramatic, obviously. Okay, the character was very melodramatic, but I just feel like there were scenes that were overacted to me.
That's very possible. I'm just happy that Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, and Emma Stone, all in Birdman, each got nominated in their respective categories because they kicked ass. And I think it might be a sweep for Birdman, not gonna lie, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay, because it's kind of a weak year for movies. Which
Yeah,
kinda
I haven't
stinks
heard
to
of
say.
so many of these.
I mean, how did Mockingjay Part 1 not get a nom?
Good question.
What's going on with you this week, Claire?
I don't know. Just kicking it in Texas this week. I needed a little break from the air. So, yeah.
We're just gonna get a whole mess of tacos.
Yeah. I'm going to eat tacos every day for the next week.
And now, are you a hard shell, soft shell, beef, chicken, pork?
Soft, because I'm not a huge fan of ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know. I like meat in its whole form.
Are you a steak taco girl?
Yeah, I'll eat the hell out of a steak taco.
Are,
Steak's the way to go.
Soft shell, steak taco, guac? You a guac?
Depends, because sometimes there are onions in the guac. So I'll usually keep it on the side and, just get some avocado from the guac and shove it on each bite.
Or what about jalapenos?
Yes,
Heat?
please.
All right, now how much of a heat wimp are you? Are you like hot or not?
Well, if I'm at like a Thai food place, I'm ordering medium because that stuff is caliente.
Thai chili.
But yeah, but Mexican food, jalapenos, they're not that bad. I like the heck out of some jalapenos.
Would you eat them like pickles?
No.
Oh, well, how can you really call yourself a Texian?
Because I don't know many Texians who do eat jalapenos like pickles.
I suppose. Oh, there you go. All right, Claire, this is episode 20. And next week is episode 21. We'll finally be legal to have a drink, even though I have a feeling that you've been imbibing while underage.
Yeah, it's hard being 19, but luckily there are people who contribute to my delinquency, and I'm thankful for those people.
You do look 19, and only 3 shows left, and we'll have to start thinking of remembrance segments as you're about to be departed. You're about to go out to the desert with no water to take a nap.
Oh my God. That's harsh, dude.
It is kind of harsh. All right, but we are out of here. Any parting words, Claire?
Go see the doctor, dude. Your cough is awful.
Through the power of editing. No, it's not. It's actually gotten a lot better and been taking a lot of Robitussin. The thing is, my cough is because everything is starting to loosen up. So I'm at the tail end of it, but everything just keeps getting... It's draining.
Well.
But I'm good to go.
Okay.
I don't, next week I'm going to sound like Barry White yet again. The bite battery. As Claire takes another puff off her e-cig, we are out of here. Claire-Vs-Carlson Show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The music was created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, check out soundcloud.com/Deeb.
In my opinion, that sucked.